In a previous video in the series, law librarian Elizabeth Manriquez discussed the access to justice gap and how libraries can help to fill this gap. Your library's probably already played a role in someone's journey through the justice system. As technology hubs and meeting spaces, libraries serve as silent partners every day. Providing reference help and access to legal information is another way that libraries contribute to the legal information landscape of their community. In this short presentation, we're going to go over ways that public libraries in Wisconsin and through the United States facilitate access to legal aid programs and law-related resources. After watching this talk, check out the WebJunction site on civil legal aid in public libraries. In 2021, WebJunction completed several training modules, articles, and handouts to help public library staff to identify civil legal issues and to help people in their community connect to information and resources. This project touts libraries as natural partners for legal aid organizations to increase access to justice in local communities. You can read about some of the examples of services we'll talk about in this video and get materials to share with stakeholders and service providers. So how do libraries support access to justice in their community? To begin with, the court system and other legal frameworks are very strongly form or even paper-based. Access to word processing applications, websites with court forms, and printers are simple but vital services. Many public libraries function as extensions of other community or statewide services, helping their community members to access information quickly or communicating with other organizations to coordinate the receipt of information. Libraries frequently schedule programming or host community events or meetings, and the skills and procedures from producing and supporting programming naturally support legal services in the library as well. In Wisconsin, there are already many models of legal service partnerships. Wisconsin doesn't have any statewide legal services integration into public library programs. However, an internet search will pull up several examples. We'll highlight some common programs and talk about some statewide initiatives spearheaded by other states. Legal clinics are some of the most common legal programming you'll find from other libraries in Wisconsin. Often, legal clinics are free drop-in clinics provided by volunteer attorneys. These clinics focus on common civil legal issues and may provide brief legal advice or help filling out forms and understanding court procedures. The most common types of civil legal issues clinics may address include family law, employment issues, consumer complaints, small claims cases, landlord or housing issues, public benefits, restraining orders, and domestic abuse or estate planning. The scope of a clinic's services are usually set by the organization hosting the clinic. The WebJunction website includes flyers to share with local legal services organizations outlining how libraries can be a natural fit for clinics. Providing some incentive for attorneys, under Chapter 31 of the Wisconsin Supreme Court rules, attorneys may claim 1 general CLE hour for every 5 hours of pro bono legal services provided in a qualified pro bono program, and they can claim up to 6 hours of pro bono CLE credits per reporting period. If there are no legal clinics in your area, but you think you might like to host one, consider reaching out first to leaders of your county bar association or community service partners. Made more commonplace by the pandemic, virtual meetings and even court hearings are things that libraries can support through their existing infrastructure. High-speed internet is a key component of attending virtual meetings, whether for a court hearing or to meet with a legal assistance provider from somewhere else in the state. Private or semi-private meeting space is also something many libraries provide and can be a vital service to someone needing to connect to a legal service remotely. The Minnesota Legal Kiosk Project is one such statewide example of supporting access to legal information and services through the support of technology. Legal kiosks, computers located throughout Minnesota, provide access to legal information and legal aid services for those who don't have reliable internet or computer access on their own. Legal kiosks are stationed throughout community locations, including public libraries. They provide quick ways for people to apply for civil legal aid services and even attend online meetings and court hearings. In Wisconsin, there isn't a widespread program for this. However, some libraries do host tablets which allow for members of their community to attend court hearings rather than travel to the county seat to attend court in person. Libraries can harness the experts in their community to host special events on topics of interest. A common program with wide interest is an educational session on estate planning. Estate planning is a broad area encompassing wills, power of attorney, healthcare decision-making, and more. You can find examples of past programs from other libraries online or reach out to statewide networks to get tips for coordinating with potential speakers. Topics could be perennially popular like estate planning or connect people to timely information focusing on major legal needs in your area. Access to legal information at your library can take many forms. If your budget allows, purchasing popular books can be helpful. Some books are published as general guides to legal issues without much commentary on Wisconsin law. Other books can focus on Wisconsin law and provide sample forms as well. Popular publishers include NOLO and the State Bar of Wisconsin. A big caveat for purchasing legal materials is that specialized legal books are often expensive, and because the law or interpretation of the law can change, these do often need to be updated regularly. Recently, the State Law Library compiled a list of popular sources for commonly researched issues. This presentation is available on our website and gives some quick overviews of popular books at our library, along with the pricing at the time. At the State Law Library, we're always happy to talk with librarians and library patrons around the state. We respond to many questions by phone or email from people who can't make it into the library. The Minnesota State Law Library takes this service a step farther and embeds a regularly scheduled law librarian in public library branches. This program focuses on providing dedicated legal research help in local libraries for scheduled sessions. One popular example of legal services for librarians is the South Carolina Circuit Writers Program. This statewide program is a series of workshops to help non-law librarians learn more about legal research so they can help their patrons access legal information. We do this type of education in our state, coordinating workshops, virtual or in person, or videos like this one to help librarians learn more about the law and legal services. Several years ago, the State Law Library and the court system produced a statewide program called the Public Library Initiative. This program included legal reference training as well as talks from local court and county officials so that libraries could learn more about the justice system in their communities. At the State Law Library, we track legal assistance services and programs for each county. If you have something to add, let us know. Your local 211 service is a great resource to help your patrons find local legal aid services and community organizations such as domestic violence shelters or housing agencies, which may also provide access to legal services or support. Statewide resources are growing for legal services, with many local programs serving residents throughout Wisconsin. We list these in the State Law Library's county directory. These can include services like the Lawyers for Learners program, a network of legal aid clinics connected with community colleges, or the online-only free legal answers service supported by volunteer lawyers with the State Bar of Wisconsin. Even if your library doesn't have the space or staffing to support clinics or programming, connecting your patrons to community and statewide services is an incredibly important component of your community's legal services landscape. This series of videos is supported by the Wisconsin State Law Library and University of Wisconsin-Madison Law Library. We encourage librarians and your patrons to reach out to us anytime with questions. Libraries are vital hubs for information, technology, and connection to community organizations. If you'd like to learn more about legal clinics in your area or statewide legal programming, contact one of our libraries.